Now at 6, the 120th Old Settlers Picnic kicks off with a fishing derby in Uniontown, Kansas. Plus, car enthusiasts gather in Pittsburgh to help raise funds for a good cause, and
the Little Balkans Festival in Pittsburgh celebrates 40 years. My name is Mitch Adams, and I'll have more on that story coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Little Balkans Day returns to Pittsburgh for its 40th anniversary. This is KOAM News at 6:30. I'm Anthony Saviello. KOAM reporter Mitch Adams visited Little Balkans Days to bring us more about the event and its history.
At Lincoln Park in Pittsburgh, the Little Balkans Day Festival kicks off for its 40th year. Starting as a small folklife market in the mid-'80s, the festival has grown dramatically since it started.
So it started in 1985. It was a build on Bev Cochran's festival that was all folk life driven. So it started out as kind of a maker's market as far as the craft vendors were concerned. The music's changed over the years. The vendors have grown.
With the changing of the times also comes the multiplication of vendors, with over 100 set up in the park.
Well, you have lots of vendors that this is their income. This is their business that they run. Some have full-time jobs, some don't. The sales tax obviously helps the city of Pittsburgh, but it's a community festival. I run into high school classmates here. Family sees that cousin you don't see all the time because people come to town during Little Balkans Day.
The festival has turned from something niche in a small town to something that symbolizes community.
You've got people that are supporting small businesses because shop local is super important. So it's all about our sense of community and our history and where we come from and how we come together to not only support a good cause, but have a good time.
The Little Balkans Day Festival is the perfect blend of family fun and economic success, not only for the city of Pittsburgh, but also for the vendors that are set up selling their items. Reporting in Pittsburgh, Kansas, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
Live music will continue through tonight with more events planned for tomorrow, including a polka dance and chicken dinner. Well, it's been a pretty great day outside. Let's go ahead and check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney.
So far, temperatures were pretty decent in the 80s. Now, you can see we have a lot more clouds moving in, along with a few showers out there on our western border. Now, let's dive right in. Out near the Yates Center area, some heavier rainfall, but near Stark, just some light showers, maybe some sprinkles out there. Now moving a little further south, Fredonia's getting some rain. Oak Valley out near Howard getting some heavy rain as well. Now all that could make it into the Independence area, but a lot of this is dying down as it makes it into the region. Parsons getting a few light showers as well. Now this is going to be pretty consistent over the next evening and into Friday morning, where we're going to see some patches of some heavier rainfall and then just some sprinkles as those heavy clouds move out of the area. So by midnight, mostly just some light sprinkles, starting to clear out by early Sunday morning, but getting some thunderstorms there in our northern counties as we start our Sunday. Now we're going to have more rain to come. I'll have all those details coming up.
Lindsay, thanks. Well, the 120th Old Settlers Picnic takes place this weekend in Uniontown, Kansas. Events began last night with the Old Settler Street Dance and will continue throughout Labor Day. Today's events got kicked off with a kids fishing derby at the Uniontown High School pond.
Right now we've only had 3 people catch some fish, but it'll be a good, nice day. I mean, it's a beautiful morning out here, and I think I picked the perfect time to be out here.
Today ends with a rodeo. Again, if you want to attend events, they continue all the way through Labor Day. Well, Walnut Days in Walnut, Kansas takes place today as well. The annual Labor Day celebration for the town of Walnut. All of the festival staples were at the celebration, including vendors, bounce houses, and a car show. A parade went through town, and folks also got the chance to participate in a horseshoe and cornhole tournament.
I have family that's spread all over the area, so they all make an appearance here at Walnut Days to support me and the committee and also just support our small town. This is where I grew up. I've been coming to Walnut Days my entire life, and so just to be on the other side of it and get to be the one putting it on is a really cool thing to happen.
Tonight's events end with a street dance. Well, Tires Meet the Pavement in Pittsburgh for a car show to help raise money for a good cause. The car show is hosted by the Law Enforcement Torch Run. All proceeds from the event go to benefit Special Olympics Kansas.
Community come out and help raise money for Special Olympics, and to give just to be out here. It's amazing to see how our community can just come out here and help out another brand.
The law enforcement torch run has raised over $1 billion for Special Olympics across the country since 1981. Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe announces a special session to enact legislation to redistrict the state's congressional district map. The governor also plans to use the session to make changes to the state's initiative petition process. The Missouri governor made the announcement yesterday at the state's capitol. Governor Kehoe says he called the session to, quote, ensure our districts and Constitution truly put Missouri values first, end quote. The proposed update to congressional districts will split fewer counties and municipalities than the current map. It will also retain every current congressional member's delegation in their current districts. The plan will also preserve 2 congressional districts as currently drawn. Governor Kehoe's call would also include enacting legislation to amend Missouri's initiative petition process. Some of the changes would include a provision that statewide ballot measures be passed only if a majority of voters statewide and a majority of voters in each congressional district vote to adopt the proposed measure. It would also require an opportunity for public comment before a statewide ballot measure is certified for signatures to be gathered. The proposal would also establish a criminal election offense for fraudulently signing or gathering signatures for a statewide ballot measure. The General Assembly will convene for the special session on Wednesday, September 3rd. 8 juveniles have been injured in a church bus crash in Missouri yesterday. Authorities say the bus blew a front and rear passenger side tires, left the roadway, and overturned. The bus is registered to Olivet Baptist Church in Westwood. At least 2 of those hurt have serious injuries. Authorities are still investigating the cause of the crash. The Kansas City Chiefs are starting the upcoming season without wide receiver Rashee Rice. He's been suspended for violating the NFL's personal conduct policy. Rice will be able to suit up on October 13th, missing the team's first 6 games. The 25-year-old received a sentence of 5 years probation and 30 days jail time after causing a non-fatal multi-vehicle crash last year in Dallas. Authorities say Rice lost control of his car after driving more than 119 miles per hour. He has since apologized and paid for all of the victims' out-of-pocket medical expenses. Coming up, as the Labor Day weekend kicks into full gear, we'll talk about how to stay safe when going out on the water, plus how skipping meals or eating them too late could lead to health problems. The last holiday weekend of the summer is almost here, or should we say is here, which means a lot of visitors to local waterways. Chris Bryant has some reminders if you are planning to be on the waterways over this weekend.
We always throw out there that, we don't want you drinking, doing anything illegal on the roadways, but think about the waterways too. This weekend is a huge weekend.
United States Coast Guard data shows that 556 people died on the water last year. That accounted for 13% of the nearly 4,000 incidents that happened on the water. Alcohol use was the leading cause of death on the water in the United States last year, accounting for 92 deaths and 192 injuries.
So be safe. Always have somebody watching if there are people in the water, especially if someone's been drinking.
The American Canoe Association says to remember the best practices for safety while on the water. Wear a life jacket, don't paddle alone, know your skill level, obey local rules and regulations, and keep an eye on those kids.
Always watch the kids, make sure the kids have a life jacket, and know the rules of the waterways.
The National Park Service recommends you always check river levels before putting your canoe or kayak in the water. The river changes sometimes daily, weekly, and certainly with the seasons. And the Missouri State Highway Patrol says let someone know where you're going to be.
There are times where people will call and say, I know they were floating, but I don't know where they were floating. I don't know what time they're supposed to be home, but I feel like they should be home by now. And if you let someone know all that, we have a starting point and we can get to your loved one a lot quicker.
The Canoe Association says it's important to be properly outfitted while on the water with items like water, a dry bag, food, sunscreen, insect repellent, and a first aid kit.
The FDA has approved this year's updated COVID-19 vaccines, but only for certain groups of people. That includes adults ages 65 and older, as well as any people who have certain medical conditions that would put them at higher risk for a severe COVID-19 infection. According to the CDC, that includes asthma, heart disease, diabetes, and pregnancy. However, doctors can still provide the vaccines off-label for those who do not meet the new eligibility criteria. The vaccines are expected to be available at pharmacies, doctors' offices in the fall. A new study says skipping breakfast increases the risks of osteoporosis and broken bones by 18%. Researchers found those who skipped those early meals had lower vitamin D and calcium levels. Eating a late dinner also increased that osteoporosis risk by 8%, and those who did both skipped breakfast and ate late, while their risk jumped to 23%. Researchers also found that those unhealthy eating habits were linked to other risky factors like smoking, not getting enough exercises, and poor sleep. A little later, Ben McLeish has highlights from college football and stories from sports teams around the area.
And I'll have a look at your Labor Day forecast coming up. Nice day. We did have a few showers already going on, but temperatures got up to the 80s and we had some sunshine early this morning. And we can go ahead and take a look at our radar, check out those showers that we have. Now, a lot of these are not making it to the surface, but the far western showers are actually hitting the surface, dropping only about 1/4 of an inch of rain per hour, so not a ton, but you can see these other little showers. Not seeing some rain accumulation for these just south of Helper and out near Bronson as well, getting some light showers. North of Yates Center and even into Yates Center, getting some heavier rainfall and out there near Fredonia. A lot of this is going to continue to make it into our western counties, but dying down as it makes it in. So similar to what we're seeing out there near the Fort Scott area and then out near Bronson as well up there. We are going to start to see just light sprinkles with some overcast skies for the evening. So might still see a couple of shower chances as we get a little bit later into the evening, and then a lot of cloud coverage. Now temperatures will drop quickly down into the low 70s and then into the 60s. Now currently we're still in the 80s for most of us now in the areas that have already seen some showers, getting down into the 70s, upper 70s, Joplin about 82, Lamar 83, Stockton 84. So overall, if you're out already out of town on the water or anything like that, it's going to be pretty fairly nice for the evening until we get to those late evening hours. Temperatures today, good bit warmer than we saw yesterday, about 1 to even pushing up to 8 degrees warmer than yesterday afternoon. And so far we've stayed dry, especially in the Joplin area. So taking a look at downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. Like I said, we did get some sunshine earlier today, but this is mostly what the 4 states looks like now. Overcast skies, and then we're going to start to see some of those showers pushing into the metro area and the central counties. Now here we are, 9 p.m. Looks like Pittsburgh might be getting some heavy rain there or some light showers, and then out near Nevada. Now Joplin seeing some heavy clouds, but none of those clouds are really going to drop rain heavy enough to make it to the surface. Now as we continue to push into Sunday morning, this is going to be very early. We dry out for most of us. We do still have a couple of patches out near the Stockton area, still maybe Nevada, and then just along our northern border in Mound City, Butler as well. Now once we get into about 8 a.m. on Sunday, pushing through the morning, we are going to start to see heavier rain and even isolated thunderstorms continuing to push into our central counties. This is along a front, so you can see where our winds shift out of the north behind these rain chances. Now this is going to be for the midday to early afternoon, clearing out by about 5 to 6 p.m. and we're left with those overcast skies. Now storms redevelop by Monday morning. We're getting isolated storms, which is going to be bringing some potential driving visibility issues as we make our way through Labor Day. People are going to be out on the roads. We are going to see slick road conditions, and because of those Sunday showers, we could see some fog developing in the morning as well, along with those isolated storms, so could cause some hazardous driving conditions that you may want to think about for your Labor Day travels. Now, storms redevelop Monday night and getting into Tuesday as well. Some scattered showers still remaining in the morning, but then we go through a nice long dry spell for the rest of the week.
Looking forward to it.
Yep.
Unfortunate for Labor Day, but still good weather.
Good weather
Yeah,
overall.
thanks, Lindsay. Still ahead, NEO football takes on Butler Community College in the season opener, and number 3 Ohio State clashes with number 1 Texas to kick off week 1 of the NCAA football season. Ben McLeish has those stories and more up next in sports.
The Kansas City Royals take on the AL Central leading Tigers, looking to gain some ground in the playoff race. The Royals dropped the series opener yesterday 5-3. Today they have Stephen Kolek on the mound facing off against Jack Flaherty. Detroit's lead in the AL Central is most likely unsurmountable at this point at 9.5 games with just over a month left in the season. But Kansas City is still very much in the wild card race, just 3 games out of the Seattle Mariners. So far, this one is still scoreless in the first. In NCAA football, we kick off week 1 with what could be the biggest game of the year. Number 1 Texas travels to Columbus to take on number 3 Ohio State. Arch Manning starts his first game as QB1 against the reigning champs Ohio State. Second quarter, Buckeyes, 4th and goal, hand off to CJ Donaldson. He's in for the first score of the game. Ohio State leads 7-0. Third quarter now, Texas on the goal line for 4th down. Manning sneaks it, but he's stopped at the line of scrimmage. Worse, and Texas is still scoreless. So we go to the 4th. Buckeyes in Longhorn territory. Julian Sayin goes deep. He finds Carnell Tate for the 40-yard touchdown. It's 14-0. Texas looks for a response in the final minutes. Manning has some time. He heaves it into the end zone and connects with Parker Livingstone. The Longhorns have some life. Less than 2 minutes left. Texas has ball, but it's 4th down. Manning is nearly sacked. He gets the ball off, but it doesn't matter. The Longhorns are short, and the Buckeyes take down number 1 Texas 14-7. Another huge college football game begins in just a few minutes. 9th-ranked LSU takes on Clemson in an SEC-ACC clash. Both teams have national championship hopes and Heisman Trophy candidates. LSU quarterback Garrett Nussmeier versus Clemson QB Cade Klubnik. 2 experienced coaches in Brian Kelly and Dabo Swinney. This game has everything you want in a premier college football matchup. The NEO Golden Norsemen kick off their college football season tonight with a rematch against Butler Community College. Last year, NEO upset the then 15th-ranked Grizzlies in a 26-23 overtime thriller. Now the Golden Norsemen look to start their season off strong again. NEO comes off a 3-6 season, but that was a big improvement over their 0-9 2023 record. The Golden Norsemen will look to get over the hump this year and become a winning football team, and it all starts tonight against the Grizzlies. And Missouri Southern is playing in their season opener right now. We'll have highlights at 10. That's all for sports. We're back with more after this.
That's been our time for tonight. Of course, we're right back here after football is done this evening. Tune in right after all the college football games. From all of us here at KOAM, have a great evening.
Associates,